certifying badasses one podcast at a time. Teaching you to love Monday. Check your baggage at licensed-to-be-badass.com and hop on the bus to Badassville. Turn up your energy with Mustang Monday. Here once again in the driver's seat is Kelly Orchard.
So, hey everybody, Kelly Orchard with Mustang Monday. I'm the Badass Certifier with another certified badass, Diane Strand from, it's JDS. There's so many different JDS now.
There are. There's JDS Video and Media Production, JDS Actors Studio, JDS Creative Academy, and we're here at JDS Studios.
Yes, we are. So what does JDS stand for?
Well, really, it's my kids' initials.
Very clever.
Yeah,
cool.
all three of them. I have a Joshua, a Jordan, and a Jasmine. And their middle initial is all D, and we're all Strands. But I'm also a D because I'm Diane, and then my husband is
Scott.
Is the original
the original
Scott Strand.
Yeah, the top of the strand.
Exactly.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
He started the strand.
Exactly.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, I like that. You have the whole family involved. Are your kids involved in this too?
They are. They're involved in the studio. They grew up here, and we even have that hashtag JDS family because I'm a momager, even with my 18 staff members. But yeah, they did. My kids, that's why we started really the Actors Studio, was because there was not the arts in the school. And I had, my oldest was in 4th grade, my middle at that time was in kindergarten, and we went to the elementary school to the principal and said, we need some arts here. What would you say if we did an Actors Studio or an acting class, drama club? And he said, I think it's a great idea, but you got to get it cleared through the district. And I'm like, okay. Put a little proposal together. I went to the district. They said, yeah, you could do it. And we went to a Friday assembly, and next thing you know, we thought we'd have like 12 or 15 people turn out. That'd be a good turnout, right? We had 55. So
clearly there was a huge need and a desire.
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Yes. And so what year was that?
That was 2010.
Okay.
When well, no, I'm going to take that back. That was actually 2009 when we started with the drama clubs. By 2010, we had moved into a brick and mortar because that's when we were at 3 elementary schools at that point. And they were saying, can you do private lessons? Can you do this? And I'm like, I can't bring you to my guest bedroom. That would not be right.
Well, that's such a good idea right now.
Yeah. So we decided to get a brick and mortar because we were doing video production and it was running out of our house for the most part. And because we were going to clients for location. And so we started an Actors Studio. And then 4 years later, everyone was like, well, can you teach this? And can you teach this? And I'm like, well, I can't, but I know somebody who can. And, I don't have any more hours in the day, but if I just bring a collective together.
Right.
And that's what I started doing. It was one of those things when you can't connect the dots looking forward, always looking back. And I realized I've been doing this since 2nd grade, getting all my friends together and say, let's put on a play. Let's do this.
You sound like me. I did not. Me on the other side of dance side recitals. That's what I've always done. Let's put on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I loved all those variety shows they used to have on television that they don't have anymore.
Carol Burnett.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's like something we totally have in common.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, all right. So tell me more about your programs that you offer. How do you find your people? And, I follow you on social media, so I know you have all sorts of different events that you put on, like your DigiFest and all these other things. What's on your mind today that you want all these badasses here to know about?
Hello, badasses. When we started teaching everything kind of evolved and grew, and we launched it off as a nonprofit. So we founded this nonprofit and developed it with all these extra visual performing and digital art classes. And I met somebody at our local chamber who said, well, could I introduce you to somebody who has special needs, but they love audio? And I think that, they would be great fit for your studio. And I was like, well, I've never worked with anybody with special needs. Okay, I'll meet this person. I have always been told that as an entrepreneur, you say yes and you show up. So that's what I do. I said, yes, I'll meet them. And I showed up, and of course he was fantastic, and he loved audio, and he just needed a chance and someone to learn and give him some opportunities. And so we brought him into the studio, and it cost me as a business nothing because the county was paying him to come and be an employee intern at my business, and I was teaching him. And within 4 months, my writing partner and I said, well, what if we designed a program that we could teach other adults with developmental disabilities, video production, post-production, audio? And so we sat down and we wrote a program and got it approved, and now I have 30 adults with developmental disabilities that we teach video production and multimedia to. And through that, we produce TV shows and radio shows, and we do a big film festival, which is DigiFest. That's mainstream to special needs and all ages, students, amateurs, professional. We bring Hollywood here. And so we do it with speakers and presenters, and we have a competition so everyone can enter and get their laurels. And it's an international. We've had entries from Scotland and Australia. And,
Nice, yeah.
and so it's just really
How
exciting.
long has this been going? This is exciting. How long have you been doing this program?
Yeah, well, the nonprofit's been around for 8 years. DigiFest has been around for this. We're going into our 6th year, and the Title 17 Adults for Developmental Disabilities, we've had that program going since May of 2018. So we're now just launching them. We've been training them now for 3 years, and now we're launching them into their own internships. And they're starting to work in the theater. They're starting to work in social media. We have a new agreement with Storm Stadium, so we're putting our individuals to work at Storm Stadium doing marketing videos and doing production for the Jumbotron and all those things. So our participants are actually on their road to finding career independence and passion, because you got to work your passion, you know, and that's the hard thing is very, very capable individuals, and, you know, they get leveled down to janitorial and or box boy of the retail or something like that, instead of out there very friendly. You know, you just have to learn an accommodation or two.
Well, you know, it's like, you know, I'm second generation radio broadcaster, so the audio production and everything. Yep, I know. I learned all that very young age. But one thing I know about the special needs community is that when they are passionate about a project, even if, you know, like the autism, they're almost super intelligent in that specific area. They probably, I know for a fact, they would thrive in that kind of environment, because they don't necessarily have, if they're not social, they don't have to be social to work on a project, and they can really utilize their tools and skills, and they're usually a lot better at the production than somebody else.
And the talent is phenomenal that they come in, and they learn just as fast as anybody else does. You just have to have the patience. You know, it's just learning that, you know, a little repetition is good. That's how they learn. And then they'll take it away. And once they learn it and they know it, their creativity, you know, they see things that we don't see.
Exactly.
You know, and it's really amazing, you know, but we work with autism, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, learning disability, and, you know, I have not found a barrier in any of these disabilities that art can't break through on some level.
Absolutely.
It levels the playing field, and, you know, even if they're struggling with something technical with the computer, I can bring it back into a creative way, and they get it. So do my mainstream. You know, we have to teach the same way, whether I'm teaching someone with special needs or mainstream. When you're working in your passion, you just have to learn what accommodation it is for every learner. Are they a tactile learner? Are they a visual learner? Are they an immersive learner? Everybody has their own style. I have my own style. I have a little dyslexia. You know, I had to teach myself how to read my way, how to speak my way. And that was my biggest thing. I take everything back to second grade was such a pivotal year. And I didn't know that then. But 3 things came out of that for me was there was a contest at the elementary school, and the person who sold the most candy would win a 19-inch black and white TV. I was a second grader. I won that TV. I still work in television today and love TV. Second thing is I was diagnosed with mild dyslexia. Reading was a real struggle for me, but I wanted to play Betsy Ross in the school play. Those are roles that went to 6th graders. I got that role. I worked hard, and I showed up, and I did what I needed to do. And I had to learn my own way. I was struggling in what it was. I was in second grade, but I figured it out with help and outside kind of interruptions that came in. You know, my parents got me good education and training and special tutoring, and that worked. And, you know, never did I ever see that this is where I would be, you know, 40 whatever years later.
Yeah.
But
Realize there's a big light on me there. Yeah.
but yeah, it's, you know, here I am. And, you know, I love that. It's a Steve Jobs quote, and I never put it into action until it was like, oh, this is how you really start connecting the dots as you look back, and how much of today shows up then.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's how I developed my the whole badass brand, the license to be badass. When I was, you know, just creating, what do I want to do? I knew I wanted to work with badasses, but I couldn't really, what kind of badass?
Right.
You know, and so I went through my entire career and what I'd been working for and achieving, and there was a common denominator in working in broadcasting. It's always important to maintain the license.
Yes.
License to own a station is very important. And so then when I was working towards becoming a therapist, it was all to get the license. So it's like, and then as I go along and I became licensed, and people would say, oh, I thought you were just a life coach. I didn't know you were licensed. Suddenly I realized I have credibility.
Yeah.
That's where License to be Badass came from. The same thing, just kind of reviewing the whole path of your existence and your passions. And it's all about building confidence and, you know, positive attitude and everything
Absolutely.
else. Yeah.
It's a mindset.
It's totally mindset.
Yes. Life is a mindset.
It has to be.
You have to, you know, and I really came into terms with that, I have to say, like a year ago. It's not, you know, it's a self-evolution thing.
Yes,
that
it is.
You keep growing and evolving. And, you know, when I thought I was at my most confident, and then I went into something and stepped out of my comfort zone, I went, oh, I got to tell fear to get back in that back seat again, because, you know, I'm moving on and doing this, and you reevaluate. And I made my first badass list about a year ago.
Yeah.
And when I started to shift, I got involved in a mastermind group that literally was life-changing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did my mastermind group a few years ago, and it really helped to catapult me into, you know, this aspect of the business. You know, never in my life when I bought this Mustang did I think I would actually be doing videos to produce. I used to have a radio station, I could do that stuff, but now it's like, oh, I could do interviews in my car and publish them. It's a matter of using the resources that you have and the networks that you can utilize. And like you said, skills can be taught. Mindset has to be owned.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I got it somewhere. I found it somewhere, and I've been using it a lot, because it is true. You know, you can create all your skills, you develop all your skills you want, and all sorts of stuff. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be badass.
Absolutely. I am 100% believer. Right on, girl.
There you go.
You know, that is...
All right, so tell me more about the whole, like, so you and Scott, our partner, Scott is your husband. I got to tell a little story about this. I've only met Scott Strand 2 times. Today will be the 3rd time probably. But the interesting thing is, a few years ago, we were at a gala together, and pictures got posted on social media, and my childhood friend, I've known her for 50 years, says, how do you know Scott Strand? I went to high school with him in Escondido.
Yeah.
She lives in Mesa now, my friend Lene. So that was really quite interesting. It was like, wow, I didn't know we had that connection. Like, he seriously was her friend in high school, not just like, oh, I kind of know you. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So,
and I didn't know that either until last week when we bumped into each other.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, you two know each other?
But not really. Yeah. It's like, but not really. Just on the side over there.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm in, I call it in business with my partner in life and business. And we've been together going on 35 years together and 30 years married. And, you know, entrepreneurship must have been one of those things you look back early in our blood, because when we were trying to break into the acting industry and we were up in LA and doing that, what did I do? I got all my unemployed actor friends together and I started putting on shows. That's what I did.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And we started putting on shows at, in Hollywood Row and Theater Row in Hollywood, and busing in kids, doing a lot of the
What
same
you're doing
thing.
now.
Yeah, and bringing them in so they could be exposed to the arts and doing those kinds of things. And, but at the same time, I'm, slinging hash over here, working over there, trying to audition myself. And
Right.
so those things evolved. We were dating at that time and then evolved into marriage. But, I went back to school and finished my bachelor's degree, and, he went off and starred in a lot of films and television, and I started working on shows like Friends and General Hospital and Veronica's Closet, and built the high-def control room at Staples Center, and then we had a kid, and, all those things happened, and it was one day that, I had come home. I was working in reality television then, and I had come home, and had to have been like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and, my 3-year-old had already been putting down to bed, and next thing you know, he's like, what if we decided to like cash in our chips, sell our house, quit our jobs, and started our own business? And I just looked at him and I said yes. And that was
just
it.
like that.
And it was just like that.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess, that entrepreneurship has always been inside us, where it's just say yes and just show up.
Just show up. I love that. Well, we're going to go get a tour right now. I'm going to get a tour.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I might actually just videotape and just add it to this, even though this interview is the Mustang Monday, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm so glad that we connected, because I didn't realize how much we have in common as far as the entertainment and production. So I'm looking forward to finding out maybe how I can, in 2022, figure something out, how to be involved with you guys.
I would love that.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have it, I have my tagline that we say together. So it's right here. You don't have to miss it. I got smart and put a Post-it up here. Somebody said, oh, that's so cute, Kelly. And you put that up there, and now it's there. So I'm Kelly Orchard, Badass Certifier with Mustang Monday. And this is Diane Strand with JDS Actors.
Actor Studio Video Production, JDS Studios. Just
there you go, JDS Studios. And we are reminding you to be bold, be brave, be confident, be badass.
If you enjoy these interviews, you can watch videos of Mustang Monday on Kelly's YouTube channel, too. Grab your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensedtobebadass.com.